When you walk into an arcade, I'm sure one of the games that will be there and no doubt you may have got a round or two with is Pac Man. Eating all of the dots and fruits in the maze while avoiding ghosts is always a grand old time, whether you're young or old, and no doubt is one of the most iconic games of all time that is still being played almost everywhere, from the traditional arcade cabinet to even on Google. In the mid-1990s, 3D graphics were becoming the new craze as many developers looked to take advantage of this technology, with many game series making the move to 3D, such as Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, and The Legend of Zelda. Newcomers were introduced such as Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie, and even arcade titles made the jump as well, especially our yellow dot-eating friend. In 1999, to celebrate the 20th anniversary, Namco released Pac Man World for the PlayStation that brought our favorite dot-munching yellow man to the 3D world that gave him new abilities while maintaining elements that made him an icon. Its success led to 2 sequels in the 2000s, with many calling it an underrated gem during that era. After over 2 decades and several fan campaigns, Namco made the surprise announcement of a remake of Pac Man World 1 that boasted updated graphics and gameplay. However, after the announcement was made, a lot of fans noticed some differences from the 1999 original that grew concerns that maybe it's not going to be the same as the original. Will it be a turnoff for those who were nostalgic for it, or will it be enjoyed for both fans new and old? If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications as we take a bite into Pac Man World RePac. The plot of the remake is pretty much the same as the original, but if you didn't play the original, here's a quick summary. Pac-Man's family are preparing a surprise birthday party when suddenly they are captured by the ghost and are being taken to Ghost Island, and it is up to Pac-Man to rescue his family. The game plays like most 3D platformers did during that time, where you take Pac-Man from one level to another while collecting pellets and fruit to help you unlock secrets and obtain the highest score. Along the levels are letters that spell out Pac-Man, and when completing the level with all of the letters, you gain access to the bonus stage, where you collect as many fruit as you can before the time expires, which gives you an opportunity to get extra points to add to your total score. There are also slot coins that can help you obtain bonus points and extra lives in the end of levels in form of a slot machine. Pac-Man has a range of weapons in his arsenal that may look familiar to other platformers, such as the butt bounce, the rev roll, and even using pellets as projectiles to take out enemies. Of course, it isn't a Pac-Man game without the traditional mazes that you could play when finding the Galaxian flagship. From there, depending on the world, you may not only have to avoid the ghost, but there are also some traps as well within the mazes, such as asteroids or bombs. He also gets the ability to turn metal, which can be used when getting any fruit underwater or even defeat any metal enemies. The levels are chock full of platforming goodness, where it gets easy at first, but does get challenging in the later levels. Presentation-wise, it's cartoony and colorful, as the team worked hard to recreate the original 1999 game in a modern twist, with the game running smoothly regardless of what system you play on. The gameplay feels smooth as the controls are responsive, and the button mapping can be changed in the options menu. The boss battles have their unique twists and turns that can provide a challenge, especially for completionists, from racing with a bunch of clowns to a callback to Galaxian. Now, when this game was first announced, there were some gamers who had some concerns with the changes they made from the original, and I can say that these changes don't really affect most of the gameplay. That being said, there are some changes Namco made that sounded cool on paper, but in reality, it was poorly executed. First, let's keep in mind that some of these can be considered nitpicks depending on who you talk to. So let's address the biggest change, which is the Pac family. Due to legal reasons, Namco had to make name changes and character design changes similar to what Capcom did with the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, where they replaced the bosses named after members of Guns N' Roses and Mega Man X5. So instead of Ms. Pac-Man, she was replaced with Pac-Mom. Pac-Baby was changed to Pac-Sis, and Pac-Man Jr. was changed to Pac-Boy. Even the dog was changed his name from Chomp Chomp to Pac-Buddy. The voiceover in the game took the Banjo-Kazooie route, but I personally like the humorous voiceovers from the original over the gibberish that we got. One of the big issues I had when obtaining the power pellet, you turn into this giant Pac-Man to chomp around the ghost for a short time. I mean, it sounds cool on paper, but in reality it's kind of frustrating and annoying as it takes a few moments for the transformation animation to finish, and when you're done chopping on the ghost, you may have to wait a while till you get back to your normal self, and in some cases you can get stuck and you can't really get out of a gap, for example, or through a hole. So I don't understand why did it not go as simple as just grabbing it and go, and eating the ghost with no interruptions. That was something the original actually got right. Even the mashing of the butt bounce got nerfed, as after the third bounce, it seems to slow Pac-Man down a bit, which was kind of weird. While it is a 3D platformer, The camera should be the most important aspect, and I feel the camera could have used some work, and there were some parts where I couldn't tell if I was going to land on a platform or fall to my death. Also, expect a lot of backtracking, which can get a bit annoying and repetitive, especially in the later levels. Speaking of 3D platformers, like the original, I feel it doesn't really bring anything new. In fact, most of the game is stuff I've seen from other games before. Unfortunately, there were some glitches and clipping issues that I'm sure will get fixed in a future patch like almost every modern game. As someone who played the original Pac Man World, I could say that despite some noticeable changes, this remake is really the best way to play Pac Man World even if you don't have the original game. For a remake that is priced at $30, it has loads of fun level design, excellent presentation, and gameplay that anyone can pick up and play. Sure, it is not a one-on-one remake, but it has enough to balance nostalgia while bringing something new. Sure, it has some questionable changes, but it shouldn't ruin the experience. It is fair to say that Re-Pac can be added to the list of remakes that has some changes for the better, like the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and others. If you never played the original, this is a game I would definitely pick up and see for yourself why people remember this game fondly. And I'm hoping to see Namco give the same remaster treatment to the other two Pac Man World titles. Pac Man World RePac for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC gets a 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, check out my other videos and hit that subscribe button for more. Once again, thank you for watching and take care. Until next time.